Let's take a look at South Africa now. Cape Town is struggling with its worst drought in 35 years. The city has imposed strict water regulations and the so-called water police have been on patrol for weeks. What's happening, Joy?
Well, everyone's got to economize on water. Hotels, schools, restaurants, and even farmers in the vicinity as well. And offenders face stiff punishment. Here's a look at what we're talking about.
This is Cape Town's main reservoir. Levels are currently at just 26%. Usually it's filled with rainwater, but the region has been hit by a prolonged dry spell. Around town, the weather is the big issue right now.
And a very good morning to you. This is the Kino Kami Show, taking care of you until 9 o'clock this morning. This drought we have in Cape Town is something we need to take seriously. If you still want water to drink, if you still want to make your cup of tea or cup of coffee, I think we need to encourage our neighbors, encourage our friends and our family not to misuse water.
Radio host Keanu Kamis is Cape Town's water warrior. As both a journalist and a father, he is worried that his kids will have to suffer from the consequences of water wastage. The situation didn't come as a major surprise, however. Cape Town has 2 oceans in its doorstep, but no desalination plant. There's been no significant rain for over a year, but farmers and house owners still fail to comply with official water restrictions. Xanthia Limburg works for the city's utilities department. With fresh water supplies in dire straits, she is in desperate need of effective solutions.
Cape Town has just over 3.7 million people, close to 4 million people. Given our current rate of water consumption, we're looking at approximately 105 days of usable water left. So the mayor has declared a local disaster and we're working on emergency supply interventions.
Water wasters can now expect a phone call from the authorities.
It is quite concerning that your bill is incredibly high, and we have these stats for the last 6 months. I think
she tells people that she might send an inspector to their property to check whether the reason for their excessive water consumption is a leak in the pipe or a faulty water meter.
There's a potential leak on your property.
Big hotels are among any city's major water users, and those that have committed to reducing their water consumption are in the minority. Where calls don't help, the mayor's office has begun clamping down on offenders.
We have issued fines, over 300 in the last month. We've issued notices to appear in court, and our new restrictions include that repeat offenders may even serve jail time, and that's how serious we are about contraventions.
The aim is for Cape Town citizens and businesses to cut usage drastically, and this hotel, guests happily take part in a water-saving program. Excess water from showers and using machines is collected and reused in the garden. By doing so, they save 20% of water consumption. For the plants, a little butt of soap in the water is better than no water at all. Keanu Kamis argues, however, that measures like these aren't enough in times of climate change.
As a globe, no matter where you are in the world, I think there are lots of people who take it for granted that you open up this tap and, oh look, I've got clear water that I can drink coming out of this tap. It's not an infinite source. We know things are hotting up, whether people believe in climate change or not. Things are certainly getting hotter. Things are drying up. And so will your water.
How long will tap water still be on tap? At the beginning of March, the city declared the drought to be a local disaster, and if the rains fail to fall, it could be extended on a month-to-month basis.
And now for something entirely different. Mino and his beloved dog Luna like going walking during the nighttime. They spend their time foraging in the hills of northern Italy for something that's even more precious than gold. Mino is a truffle hunter and his quarry is the rare, highly prized white truffle. Demand for this variety far outstrips supply. In addition, climate change effects dry the soil and make the yield drop every year. As a result, a kind of war has broken out between legal truffle collectors and unscrupulous illicit competitors.
They work in the dark. Truffle hunters, or trifolao as they're called in the Piedmont dialect. They are shy creatures, always on the move, with only their dog at their side.
When you find a truffle, it's an overpowering feeling. You break the earth with your own hands, and this incredibly intense smell wafts up. It's really overwhelming. It doesn't matter what size or shape the truffle is.
Mino's companion is Luna, a Cocker Spaniel. The two are inseparable. Northwest Italy's Piedmont region is renowned for its history, culture, excellent wines, and of course, its truffles. It's a veritable land of plenty. But in winter, things take a nasty turn here in the idyllic woodlands around Alba. That's when the white truffle season comes. Mino is angry about the so-called truffle wars.
It's gotten so bad that dogs are being poisoned. 8 dogs were poisoned within the space of 3 weeks in this region alone. That's incredibly painful for us. We've reached a point that was unthinkable for us until recently. It's no longer war. This is personal vindictiveness. But who's the target?
Alba's forestry police are trying to find out who's responsible. They patrol the region, keeping a lookout for unlicensed hunters. But it's not easy to cover so many square kilometers with just 5 men. Deeper in the forest, they meet 2 trifolao on their way home.
I don't care whether they've paid the license tax, but if they dig out the truffles when they are still green, that's a real competition. This has been going on for years.
The forestry police are even more concerned about this practice than about the cases of poisoning. Some hunters are unearthing the truffles before they're ripe, destroying the fungus and its host plant. The ecosystems that produce white truffles are very sensitive.
This is the damage they've left behind. This hole here and several more back there. The entire area has been destroyed by these diggers.
It's all about money. A lot of money. White truffles are worth their weight in gold. Especially fine specimens can even cost 2 or 3 times as much. Mino says the economic crisis in Italy is one reason why more people are turning to truffle hunting. But more and more hunting grounds are being privately leased and are no longer open to freelance troffolao like him. He learned the trade from his grandfather and can't imagine life without it.
Why is hunting truffles a passion? You have to know where to look and when. Every plant has its own time. It's not like all of them suddenly grow all at once. So how do you acquire this knowledge? Through experience.
Cosa ti porta a capire quando quella pianta o quest'altra pianta avranno il tartufo? L'esperienza.
Mino and some of his colleagues are planning to offer courses on truffle hunting and the ethics of truffle hunting. Maybe that will help.